What's up, people? It's been a minute. I've been traveling a lot, and I was a little bit lax on my content, but I'm back, and I definitely will be here at least once a week, if not more. So when you catch this, drop a comment about what kind of content you want to see more on in terms of transformational living principles, living your dream life right now, and business principles, like how you want to build your business, what's going on, what are the blocks, where are you wanting to take it, all the things, and anything else you feel inspired to hear me yap about, because I'm a wealth of knowledge. So maybe I know something that you might not, or you want to hear my perspective on, and you just want a millennial's take on it. So what I'm feeling super inspired to talk about right now is just the behind the scenes of me, of my life, of my brand, of where I'm going with my business and my life. And a lot of you, I get the feeling that a lot of you look up to me and get this expectation that like I'm jet setting and I have everything figured out, and that things must be super perfect, because at one point in my life it wasn't, and now I'm showcasing that I'm traveling all over the world and I live all over the world and I live on this very kind of like bite of the seat of my pants, spontaneous, super digital nomad entrepreneur lifestyle, which I do to extent. Like, I mean, there's so many things I feel like I take for granted that I've received through, just my innate sort of like intuitive spontaneousness, coupled with really good transformational mentorship that I've had over the years, who have like helped me hone in on my ability to make quick decisions, enhance my intuition, and then also share with me like deeper principles about transforming my life and making magic in my life right now. And at the same time, like, I'm not perfect. And this was really important for me to share that I'm also a human. And right now, like, my relationships aren't perfect. You know what I mean? Like, you can still build a business and still live a fulfilling life without having to have everything perfect. And so, like, my page looks super curated and super aesthetic right now. And I wanted to just take myself off a pedestal a little bit, if that's how you were looking at me, and talk about the things that aren't perfect. Part of the inspiration for this video was also that, like, a lot of you really come to my page and have this expectation that, like, I'm a really hot girl. And I am. I get a lot of feedback from you guys about lots of hearts and lots of emojis and lots of DMs about if you can take me out and wanting to have sex with me, and that's so great. Like, love it. But that doesn't mean that, like, I've never been dumped. I went through a really bad breakup in November with somebody that I thought was the Chad, the Chad, like the one that I was going to get married to and have the Orange County tow-headed kids with, and our families were local, and we were going to do the thing, and I was going to make it work, no matter what was happening and all the red flags and the this and the that. And this ties back to what I shared about in my stories, if you didn't catch it, or if you did. Maybe I'll make that a little bit of a reel, about having a lot of past romantic relationships with partners who have had a substance addiction, and all the challenges that came up with that, like the relational patterning, the fighting, really like the gaslighting and the toxic relating and the verbal and emotional abuse, and just the unhealthy red flag dynamics. Like, I'm not here to paint myself as a victim. I do my own work. I take care of my own stuff. But, like, it's also to call a spade, because I love romanticizing my most recent relationship about where that was going. But that was not a healthy relationship. And I was really devastated when it ended. Like, I wanted it to work. I wanted him to stop using so much weed, and to do the internal intimacy work to, like, make it work. Like, I saw that was the guy. He was the one. He was the Chad. But, for my betterment, he was high and ended the relationship. and didn't want to have a conversation about it. And we haven't spoken since. I mean, we've had a couple interchanges since, or, but this was like months ago. And from that process, it really pushed me into studying and understanding attachment dynamics more and the kinds of men that I tend to be more attracted to and why, and like what comes up for me and like what sort of physiologically like comes up for me in those dynamics, and why I'm like more sort of pulled to a situation like that versus like something that might be a little bit more available, or somebody who's like more, whatever. And from that breakup too, like it really allowed me to study like more of my attachment patterns and have better understanding of like what's going on. And it really pushed me to like expand my business. Like, not that what I was doing was wrong, but I repivoted my purpose back into like marketing and building brands versus doing more like personal like transformational life stuff. And it really pushed me to take my income seriously because I didn't want to be reliant on a Chad again, My last Chad made some good money, like, drove a Tesla, like whatever, like, sports car, like consistent income, could do the things, and we had enough in common that I felt like it was enough. But I think that relationship ended, really pushed me into a bigger level of taking my relationship dynamics seriously, my internal emotional energetics seriously, and really taking myself seriously as a woman and as a business owner and really stepping into my light with that. Like, to not be shy about the fact that like I have this badass brand and that I have a really public profile and that I'm in the entertainment industry, and and to like really be clear that my next Chad has to be okay with that. So those were some of the blessings that happened from a really, really traumatic breakup, like the worst breakup I've ever gone through, and the only breakup I've ever really experienced that wasn't on my own like volition or like my own initiation. So and like since then, it's not like I've got all my like dating situations, like you don't see a Chad on my profile because there's no Chad right now, and that's okay. Like, I can do all my own things, and I think having a brand and building a business and having something that I'm really proud about has also really inspired me to just like do all the things that I was wanting to do with Chad right now, which is, take my business abroad and like travel and, move to Tulum and like do all the things that I wasn't sure I was going to be able to do if Chad and I got more serious and like moved in together and like did all the things. Like, what is I going to have to stay local to LA? And was he going to want to travel with me if he had like a local 9-to-5? So in all the ways that like my life continues to expand, it doesn't mean that like I don't get lonely or like want to have a Chad or like all those things. Like, I think it's really awesome to showcase and tell you guys that like I'm super proud to like be this badass like woman CEO who like travels whenever I want and like does all these things and like makes all these amazing connections. And like from a realist point, like, yeah, I'd love to have a Chad right now, like, of course I can pay for my own food and like my own Ubers and things like that, but like it's really fun when Chad does it too, and yeah, I just wanted to be real and honest with you, like, about what's going on in my heart space. I think a lot of you might pedestalize me, both from a physical standpoint and just like from the way that my life is showcased and the amazing opportunities that I get and manifest and the people that I meet and like how, my lifestyle, that things must be perfect. And it's not. And this is also a reminder for me when I look at other people's profiles that like their lives aren't perfect too. Like, we're capturing a very specific moment in somebody's life on film and on camera. And also we're showcasing and highlighting for you the real. So there's no sauce in this. I just wanted you to get to know me a little bit better, and so that you could also take me off the pedestal and know that I'm a human person and that I have emotions, and sometimes I have really strong emotions, and sometimes my heart feels a little tender and I cry and, and I miss people who aren't in my life anymore, and I get really excited for the future, and, I'm just a girl, like I'm just a girl too sometimes. And like, sometimes I feel like there's a lot of pressure to be perfect on here for you guys. And I'm not, I don't have everything figured out. I don't always know the best content to put out. I don't always know what's the best thing to say. I fuck up sales calls. I fuck up DMs. I don't always know what's gonna make it right. But I do know and can tell you that the clients that I've signed, whether it was from my B2B and I'm just doing marketing for them, or my coaching agency, is because I was authentic and I put out value and I gave content, and I gave value and I showed up and I addressed how I could help. And I didn't try to cap and be somebody that I wasn't, And so if you don't like what I have to say, ask yourself why you're being triggered, and feel free to unfollow me, unsubscribe, please. No more cat hard eyes, okay, guys? I get enough of them. You're not impressing me. I can't tell you. I had a reel last week. I had 15 hearts in a row, all guys. And it's congratulations. That's not going to get my attention. So I'm please, this is not going to get you a date. This is not going to get you on my highlight reel as the next chat. It's just not going to work. So, but yeah, if you want to have a conversation about a different point of view or this or that, I'm all for it. Leave me some comments. Tell me what's going on in your life. Tell me what would feel valuable in terms of your business and in terms of your lifestyle and how you can live your Pinterest board life right now. That is what I'm stoked to talk to you about and to share with you, and the principles that I've learned that have continued to allow me to do that right now, even if I don't feel like my bank account values that, yet. If I'm still dealing and going through interpersonal things, I'm not perfect. I will say it one more time, I am not perfect. I don't handle every conversation perfectly. I don't, I'm not totally calm, cool, and collected all the time. And I need you to know that, because I'm not some Pinterest baby doll pinup girl that you're coming to my page to live vicariously through. I'm going to have really challenging conversations, and I'm going to continue to say some really, really intense perspectives about a lot of things, and I'm just going to hype it up. That's what I'm feeling called to do, because I haven't really been feeling super excited about just talking about business these days. I really want to tell you, the realest shit about growing a business. Because a lot of times you see people who are doing 100K months and they're not talking about what's happening behind scenes. What did they do to get there? Did they snort a bunch of Addy? Did they do cocaine in the bathroom? You don't know what people are doing. And it's really my commitment, especially for you guys that are feeling inspired to continue to scale businesses online and have this digital freedom. The journey of the entrepreneur is also the journey of that hero cycle thing. So just be prepared to be faced with a lot of things that maybe you thought you had figured out on a much bigger level, we're talking visibility and money and am I worth this level of money? Am I worth this level of attention? I mean, it's crazy. And then you go out and it's then you're so public and people see you and it's people assume that I love all this attention, which sure, great. I love to be known. And sometimes I don't want all the attention when I'm walking down the street. Yeah. So this is just a realist heart to heart, and I'll see you in the next one. All my links are down below. You can follow me on Instagram. You can unfollow me on Instagram. You can join my email list with more sauce, and you can keep up with all what my offers are and how you can work with me. You can unsubscribe my YouTube. You can subscribe. You can copy me. Whatever. Just get ready for more sauce on a much higher level. Bye.